Yeah, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to our broadcast tonight. We got a full day of action in front of us. The playoff conclusions of the Essentials.TF North American Monthly, sponsored by Twitch. I am one of your lovely two casters today. My name is Eckstein, and I am joined by Tambo. How you doing, Tambo?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to see some Team Fortress 2 today. I know we have a lot of great teams competing in this tournament. It's the first big outside of both leagues tournament we've had in a while besides the LANs, so I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, the TF2 community has been popping, plenty going on. I mean, competitive matchmaking came in the game a while ago. That's not really the best thing. We're hoping for some updates soon, but definitely there's still a ton of players, ton of leagues, ton of community action. And what we got going on for you today is the Essentials.TF monthly. And how this went down is yesterday there was a Swiss format round robin, all sorts of teams playing each other, everybody getting a ton of games in. But now we are down to a best of one single elimination bracket. Our two teams right now are Velocity Black versus Hooligans for Hire. Tambo, did you get to see much of the action yesterday?
I wasn't able to catch a lot of it, but I'm not
Mm-hmm.
surprised that both of these teams made it into this stage of the tournament, considering both of them are either,
Yeah.
high IM or invite level. Of course, Hooligans for Hire competing in our highest ESEA division of
Mm-hmm.
invite this season, and the other team, Black, a subsidy of the invite team Velocity, and also competing in the second highest division IM for ESEA.
Yeah, and intermediate is pretty serious. I mean, I have years and years of Team Fortress 2 experience under my belt, and I get rocked in open, so that's just how it is. And there's a big skill gap on the bottom of open, the middle of open, the middle of open, the high end of open, and then high end of open into intermediate is a huge skill gap. Uh, Hooligans for Hire, kind of on the lower side of the invite tier list, which unfortunately also sort of has a similar skill gap at the top once you just have teams like Froyo and Ascent that are just kind of operating on like a whole nother level. But so kind of what I'm getting at is that the skill level here today between these two teams should be pretty well even. I also didn't really get to see much action from yesterday, but these two teams did face off in the Swiss format, and they did play to a 3-3 tie. And the logs definitely show that that was quite an exciting match.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get a similar result this time. I'm really excited to see some even level TF2, some good gameplay from both teams. I have played against both these teams in the past, and I can tell you that they are very hungry to climb up in their ranking. We all know that
Nice.
Hooligans for Hire, a team actually coming out of, I believe, Open when it was merged with IM a couple seasons ago and doing quite well. So
Mm.
they decided to move up. I know a couple of their players have high IM experience already, so it's nice to see them competing in the invite division.
Yeah, definitely. Climbing up that ladder is what it's all about in competitive TF2. Just trying to get better with your teams, and certainly playing with the same group of guys for a long time can do a lot for you. Obviously, though, having kind of some organizational support and some other players and coaches looking out for you, as is the case with Velocity Black, will be helping out. They definitely have a depth of experience with people like Rikachu on their team.
Yeah, most definitely. Rikachu's actually he has played in the invite division before, I do believe, but was considered among IM players to be one of, if not the best IM player for quite a few seasons. So definitely a player to look out for in this match. Also on his team, they do have a couple players who have gotten top one, top two IM. So these people are no slouches, even though they're in the lower division. Technically, they're definitely at the same skill level, if not maybe a step above.
Yeah, so for Velocity Black, it will be Rikachu and Maelstrom on the Soldier, ODB on the Devilman, Drake on Medic, and then Dippity and Dylan on Scout. Our other team, the Hooligans for Hire, is going to be Abyskal. I think he's tagged up as no. They're kind of scrambled right now. No, he's here. He is just Is it Alpaca Boy is somebody else?
Let me check.
Let's get a
I
little
think I
halfway
have those
distracted
guys
here.
added.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alpaca Boy is Maelstrom. Um, I believe Ebskull is playing on the Velocity or the Velocity Black team as a no. Yeah, they're playing on the Velocity Black team as a substitute, I believe. I'm not sure if they're main because I know Ebskull isn't on that team for ESEA, so he might be filling in for somebody. I know that on the side of Hooligans for Hire, we do have, I believe, Dylan on Soldier, I think, instead of Rikachu. I believe Rikachu is still on Scout.
Rikachu's on Velocity.
Yeah, Rikachu on. Oh yeah, Rikachu is on Velocity. Yeah, so we do have. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense because I was gonna say I didn't think Dylan was on Scout, so he might be, but I know he does main Soldier, so
Yeah, the lineup they played yesterday was with Dylan on Scout and with Dippity, and then Rikachu and Maelstrom on Soldier. So I would guess that is what the Velocity Black lineup's going to be. I was just a little confused if all the members of Hooligans for Hire are here tagged up correctly. But we do have Reflecto and Fabulous on Soldier, Link and Abyssal on Scout, Shiloh on Demo, and then Phantom as the medic.
yep, okay, yeah, that does make sense. So yep, we have I do believe 7 or 11 or 12 in the server, something like that. So we should be starting relatively soon, and hopefully we can get it going.
Yeah, Goalie Wash, a real fun map here. I one of my favorites, both for just kind of MGE mid, just kind of like in the sixes scenario. It plays really fast, um, but there always feels like there's flexibility and options. And last is a tough crack, but on the side of that, as a defensive team, like you still do feel like you have a chance if you're running up against a full Uber charge. If you lose that mid bad and they just come pushing at you, you can run a pyro, get some reflex, you can engineer, you can tuck a heavy away, you can just like do a crazy strat where you just away from the point, charge back on, stop it, you spy, sniper. It's just a really, really great map.
Yeah, definitely. Off-classing on this map has been popular for a long time. I remember Melee used to run it in Invite. Melee used to run
Yeah.
the Pyro. That was legendary for a little bit. But yeah, usually we do see off-classing on this last, especially we'll see some Sniper, I'm sure. A lot of good sightlines here on second as well.
Yeah. Sniping from mid is super classic. I remember back I-43 I casted from home, and there was just a huge goalie watch match. JH on sniper, probably all the names wrong, just like crazy European snipers on goalie watch. And that's like TF2 eight years ago. Yeah. Long time ago. This map has been around. We're gonna see snipers. We're gonna see engineers possibly on last. I personally like the offensive pushing pocket engineer when you have mid captured. That's my favorite bad mannered move. It's really, you got to play to win, Tambo. You got to play to win.
Yeah, definitely. We're not giving any free wins out here to anybody. So both teams definitely able to take this, and hopefully they do. I think I'm seeing in chat they have a few server troubles right now. A couple of people have really high ping. Maybe the routing is different for them than other places, but we're trying to get that resolved for you guys as quickly as possible, and hopefully we can decide on a server soon.
Yeah, definitely. People said I was cutting out, and I actually flipped something on my side, so I might be better now.
Yeah, you're not cutting anymore, I don't think.
Oh, fabulous. Well, yeah, Goalie Wash. Hopefully, we'll get these players in here, get them all settled in here, and get started. Unfortunately, a little bit of a delay here, but thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Tambo, the thing I was going to throw at you is, we talked a little bit about off classing. We have a lot of viewers here. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Sure, some of these viewers have already mentioned that might be newer to competitive TF2. What are some of the weirder items that we might see come into play on this map, or even just demo man? What are people using these days?
Well, these days it's a little different than it used to be, especially for Pyro. I'd say Pyro is one of the most popular off classes now, especially on last regarding this map. Mostly because of its recent mechanic changes. It does a lot more damage per second than it used to, so we'll see Pyros a lot in water. And as we have seen throughout the history of competitive TF2, most of the time when we see Pyro, it's with the degreaser. It's an
Mhm.
alternative flamethrower to the original, but nowadays people are usually starting to switch back to usually the original rocket launcher, if not the backburner, something of that nature, because of the high DPS increase. And for engineer, it's pretty much the same thing. Jag is standard nowadays because of the faster building speed. And sniper, Machina, we saw Machina was recently banned, I believe 1 season ago at this point. So that used to be the standard for sniper. Nowadays,
Mhm.
it's just the stock. And yeah, off-classing is definitely important on this map. So I'm almost positive that both of these teams like to run pyro on last. So we'll probably be seeing a lot of that.
Mhm. And actually, just to note, the Sydney Sleeper is the only primary sniper rifle that's banned in this tournament.
Oh, I
The
see.
Yeah, the Girardi band as well. But overall, the competitive community has been moving more and more towards open whitelists. We still have the disciplinary action band, which is a sad one in my heart. Um, I like to see all of the items, but definitely we've been trending that direction, and Valve has been reactionary as well, and is helping to continue adjust the weapons, although they don't do that all that often.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously the end goal for us as a community is to have as much variation, as much strategy as we can. So
Hmm.
most of the time, people aren't not in favor of unbanning more weapons. It's just that people have an issue with the fact that they're overpowered or not quite feasible because of their limitations or something like that. So yeah, we're definitely always pushing to get our whitelist a bit bigger every single season. But we also have to keep in mind that we've had this competitive format for so long. There's been so many standards set, so sometimes people are a bit hesitant to do that. But overall, I think the consensus is that balancing weapons is one of the number one priorities for TF2 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think people have been a little bit more open-minded, although I still kind of run into Um, I don't really want to call it closed-mindedness, but I think it's sometimes I think it's like a losing mentality where they just don't really want to deal with finding a solution, and so then they just complain, and that's sort of unfortunate sometimes because uh, people some of these strategies are really bad. you know like sometimes running pyro past last into second or into mid, you lose these other aspects that a scout or a soldier bring to the table. But also if you're catching people off guard, it can be successful. And sometimes people get tilted and they get a little frustrated when they see a pyro, but you gotta play to win. So you just switch to heavy, and it just counters it um hard, like just make the adjustment and move on. And that's what's great about having more tournaments and more events, as well as kind of like the slower opening up of the whitelist, because more strategies will come out because teams are playing to win. And it's not necessarily super super cheesy, like lame tactics, but stuff that has an answer, stuff that you can respond to and solve. As I mentioned, like pocket engineer is like a weird one that I run sometimes, but I feel like it can give you these certain benefits, and there's other counters to it. We're going to see a lot of sniper on this map, but there's counters to that. You either run a sniper yourself, for one, or maybe you run double gun boats, or maybe you run a pyro with a detonator. And actually, I played a pug, and again, I mean, the community is becoming more open-minded. But I played a pickup game, and somebody did the detonator pyro jump, and you can jump up the other teams. We just lost an entire team. Oh man. You
Yeah,
can
it looks
jump
like.
up.
Oh, didn't mean to cut you off there, but I
No,
do
it's good.
believe we are getting a new server because of the ping issues on this one. So I believe
Okay.
the info's in the Discord, and hopefully
Oh,
both
excellent.
teams will come to a consensus soon. Sorry for this delay, everyone.
Excellent. Okay, we are switching servers, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back. Um, the pyro jumping up the drop down at goalie wash is something that we might, possibly see. And I think it's cool that people are trying those sort of tactics more, um, and being more open minded to it. Definitely, Valve's competitive matchmaking right now with the unlimited amount of classes. You can kind of have a few like really trolly builds and setups, unfortunately, but you still, just got to figure it out. Got to solve that stuff.
Yeah, there's always innovations by our teams of this level. This is still considered a pretty top level team, pretty top level teams in terms of the grand scheme of things. So yeah, they definitely. Everyone always tries to innovate new strategies for middles and stuff like that. And sometimes we actually see some pretty innovative stuff that we haven't seen before. So yeah, we might see something like pyro to mid, sniper to mid. I know it is viable on this map, and a lot of teams across the ocean do that in a good old ETF2L.
Yeah. That's yeah. Oh, won't harp on some of my personal items that I personally love a lot and would love to see more involved in the game, either them being unlocked or just kind of utilized more. Quick shout out to something coming up next week. It's going to be the Rewind 2 LAN at Esports Arena in Santa Ana, California. I'm going to be there. Our producer today, Azazel. That's a tough one, I'll be honest. He's going to be there as well, running first-person spectating camera. It's going to be a fantastic event. On Friday, there's going to be an open tournament. The Portland Burnsiders, my team, going to be playing and having a grand old time. After that tournament wraps up on Friday, then, there's going to be a little bit of open play, but then also we're going to get into an awesome tournament with 4 invited teams. We got Ascent, Velocity, Froyotech, and making the big trek over is going to be 7 from the land of Europe. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Really excited about for that. Some of the coverage is going to be on TeamFortress.tv on their Twitch. The rest of the coverage will be on the Esports Arena page. And that is going to be a fun, huge event. You guys should definitely check that out next weekend. It's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, and obviously Froyotech, the favorites. Well, not necessarily the favorites, but they're returning champions to the tournament. So
Yeah.
we'll see if they can try and make the two-peat, I guess. Take home the trophy for America once again. But I don't know. The 7 team is looking pretty strong this season, so might be some good matches.
I know that Ascent has been performing very well against Froyo recently, and but I also know that Ascent kind of was sort of looking at having some issues getting all into the tournament and getting to the venue. Hopefully they do play with their strongest roster and make it happen. But are we going live here?
We are live here on this first middle, as we do see both teams opting to go their side straight off the bat, and we do see soldier bombs on top of the point as one soldier on the side of Hooligans for Hire does get taken down on the lower, but the frag is traded back by ODB, and now we see another frag onto the side of Hooligans for Hire. They're only 2 up here trying to get out as Velocity Black takes the first minute.
Sorry, I was had to reconnect to the STV there, so I am with you. Phantom was able to escape. He's got and they're on the riverside and far enough back as well that they're going to be able to get back and have an Uber charge to hold last. So strong middle for Velocity Black. Things going to settle in here, at least a little bit of tempo and fairly even in the last here. Looks like they're going to maybe go river. Okay.
Usually around here is when we'll see the sacks here, as we do see one coming in directly onto the point, onto the side of Hooligans for Velocity Black, as they do get that force onto Phantom. So now Velocity Black going to have this full Uber advantage as long as they don't get forced out here. It doesn't look like they're going to. They're just content to sit in river, so they're going to have their respawner coming in about 8 seconds with this full Uber ad. Let's see if they can take this first round, put a score on the board.
Yeah, Dylan working at lower wood area. Meanwhile, Hooligans for Hire kind of have some eyes on lobby. Rika jump out from river, though. He gets stuffed down. Shiloh getting the kill there. Drake has nobody else to heal him. Dippity throwing some damage on gets Link. ODB Chimp still underneath the point. And he's going to be on Reflecto. Heavy's down there. The goal. They get us on the capture. Dylan going down. Great.
Yeah, looks like they did. They were able to hold that last point for some miraculous reason, though, for Velocity. They actually almost capped it with a single scout, but Hooligans for Hire was responding quick enough, so they are able to stay alive in this round, as we do see them also having a large Uber advantage, pushing into a control point. This time it's going to be middle. We're going to see the Pocket Soldier Fabulous try and take this through the middle point. Looks like he's going to try and lead it, make some space for his team by jumping in. I don't think he's going to take too much damage, as they do end up not having to use here, so they're going to have this advantage still, pushing into second from middle.
Yeah, they basically just baited the from Maelstrom, and Medic Phantom was able to ghost out of there and skate away no problem. He's going to move into lobby with Abyssal right now. Still under attack by the Demo Man, but Chimp can't quite get the combinations there. Get the kill. Player Velocity up on the river side. Ricochet looking to come out here. Oh, but gets dropped by Drake. Another misstep. He's going to use the rest of it on Dippity, though.
Yeah, Dippity's going to be able to force the Uber out from Hooligans for Hire, so we are going to see the Uber pretty much be rendered useless, but we do see the banner coming in from lower main as Hooligans for Hire floods directly into the last, getting the kill onto the demo almost instantly, and this time on point. It's going to maybe net them the round, but a lot of damage on point. The point is nipple hairs away and it doesn't actually get capped. So we do see Hooligans for Hire pushing out from their last to cap the first point.
Yeah, and that was a great rollback. Losing mid, but keeping their medic alive, and then being able to just kind of roll it all the way back from last to last. And two big missteps there on the push into last. Rikachu got really disconnected from Drake and then dropped. And then again on their defensive second, got screwed up.
Yeah, unfortunate for them. But, oh, I think this middle is probably going to go the way of Hooligans for Hires. They do have a lot of time on point, but this late Soldier Bomb coming in, ODB able to clean up the medic onto the floor, so now Velocity Black's passive style is actually going to net them a mid-win here, most likely, as they do finally start to clean up these scouts, cap that point off.
Yeah, Phantom up just kind of very low on health, only about a third of his, and skating around by the nipple, but got taken down eventually. Now with Drake having a full Uber charge, it's probably going to be no defensive second. And a little bit of engagement up top. Our soldier for Hooligans for Hire, Reflecto, is poking away at Riverside and is going to be backing up eventually.
We do see the off class of Sniper coming here, peeking into River. It looks like Link on the Sniper class going to be going back into spawn. Maybe switching weapons or something like that, as he is repositioning another angle at River, but it looks like once again Velocity Black gonna have this Uber advantage to try and push last with, but they do once again lose somebody pushing in, just like last time, as Rikachu finally starts to take the Uber aggressively onto their side, but it might be too little too late, as the scout or the soldier on point is already cleaned up, and the bombs coming in is but they do end up getting Phantom in the end, so heal advantage here for blue team. They're going to be content just to back up here, I bet, and save their Uber advantage.
Yeah, that was, they killed Phantom. Also a nice job Pikachu getting Abyssal, heavy weapons guy. Finally able to knock him down. But as you mentioned, Drake is just going to back up, goes all the way back to choke. They try to goad out the Hooligans for Hire here, but they're staying disciplined and just staying inside the lobby here. Shiloh is setting a trap. He's got one above door and then 3 stickies by the pallet, and one kind of obvious one. Maybe he's even going to watch to see if they shoot that one off and then pop the other ones. He's got an eye on the shutter, but Dylan sees the trap. And Dippity runs past this other one. Oh, now spots it.
So yeah, traps finally getting cleared here for Velocity. Looks like they're going to try for the third time now to take it their full Uber advantage into last. Not quite full actually, but a sizable Uber advantage into last. Looks like once again they're not going to get much pressure out, as they do actually end up waiting too long, giving Hooligans for Hire their Uber. So another failed last push on the side of Velocity back. But just as I say, the flight comes in from water. Both players might get cleaned up here, but frags are being traded back and forth. I do see possibly a hold here. Yeah, it looks like Hooligans for Hire is going to be able to hold, as Velocity Black backing up the river for a third time in a row.
Rikachu miscalculated his health there, is a polite way to say it, and died off the wall jump. He might have taken some damage right before that, but that definitely was a factor because his medic was alive and he just kind of fragged himself. Rikachu wants to come out. He does jump off the wall, get pogoed off the other rocket. Link then finishes him off. Link, great shot. Maelstrom, huge damage on him, but Maelstrom just comes on the side, finishes off Shiloh. Phantom doesn't crater, but his fighting toe here is going to go down to Maelstrom. Hooligans for hire in a tough spot, but Abyssal and Reflecto still fighting. It's just Maelstrom left. He's going to grab the back end lobby, but Hooligans do recap.
I'm starting to worry a little bit here for Velocity Black. It looks like a pattern is emerging. This is twice now we've seen Velocity able to get into a position to push last with an Uber advantage, and twice now they've actually failed. So now we see Hooligans for hire potentially trying for the run back another round where they go from their last to the other last, and let's see if they can do it.
Yeah, now Dippity trying to get in, but it kind of stuffed, then goes down. Rikachu down, but Drake is able to back out. Link the only one down for Hooligans higher, so they are going to push forward. A pipe's going over to big door. Dylan ends up getting scratched by Abyssal. And they will be able to roll out through choke here, just leaving a scout to capture. Rikachu and Velocity are moving back.
Our control point is being captured.
Yeah, and just like the fears of Velocity Black seem to have manifested as they do get pushed back into their last one more time. We see Hooligans for hire with a very slight Uber advantage dwindling as we speak. Only a 10% at this point, so I believe they're going to try and hold out, maybe send some sacks here. But yeah, once again, we do see the sack coming in, potentially dropping Drake maybe. Nope, the rocket wasn't quite good enough, so...
Yeah, that was close. He got pogoed onto the ball, which just, helped him keep the fight going. But yeah, Drake just able to survive.
Yeah, nice surf there, so we might see some off-classing here, just like we talked about in pregame. Potential for a sniper, but we do see Dylan right now on the engineer, the defensive gun.
Yeah, and the Hooligans just kind of biding their time here. It looks like they're going to start rotating further into river. Maybe they were going to see if some of the players from Velocity might push out. There's 20 minutes left on the clock, but they certainly want to get another point here. Link poking underneath, finds Rika, goes down east to the rockets. So they're going to wait for him to come back. Like I said, they got 20 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm surprised actually. The first sack they did, I believe it was Reflecto who was jumping in for the medic. They didn't actually opt to have any off classes, so we do see Link spawning up on Scout again. It looks like they kind of want to do this plain and cookie cutter if they're going to do it at all. So actually no, just as I say that, Link does switch to sniper. So going to be a sniper battle between Dylan and Link in the Scully Wash last.
Yeah, Dylan supporting Dippity on river. Dippity was kind of through the stairs there trying to tempt out somebody. And now it's Maelstrom who's working with our sniper for Velocity, Dylan. Dylan's going to switch sides. Link now starting to get into position. This riverside angle for sniper here is pretty classic. Gonna have a soldier come with him too.
Hopefully we do see some sniper versus sniper action. Oh, as he does trying going to peek. Oh my goodness, a brave player, to say the least.
That wasn't a peek, that was a lunge.
Oh,
Dylan
and he
ends up getting
does actually, yeah, he gets taken down for that aggressive style. Actually, no, that was the scout who got taken. So we're gonna see Velocity Black get aggressive into this lobby position, maybe get an angle for their sniper as they do have that one player advantage. They're gonna try and get as much room for him as possible.
This is sort of tough with Link all the way on the backside of that second point through that crack. And it ended up getting shoved back, but at least they didn't lose their Uber charge, lose anything.
So a stalemate situation here. Usually when we do see the really aggressive peaks like we have seen, the lunges, trying to get any damage they can onto the medic, maybe to stack onto, but it doesn't look like any medic has been in any real danger quite yet. No sightlines have been peaked. So we're going to see how these snipers change their playstyle in the coming minutes.
Yeah, looks like Link wants to head back to Riverside. See what he can find here. Maelstrom might get in his face in a second. Yep. definitely the Hooligans for Hire are patient. They're waiting for the right contract, the right situation. Sniper looking from low, but can't find Dylan, unfortunately. Dylan was scoped in, looking the other angle, and will actually get taken out by Rikachu. Maelstrom now going underneath, jumping on a shot in a second. Actually jumps up, jumping around, another big jump. Oh, he can't. Oh, he does get enough pressure.
Oh my god. Gets the force off of just pretty much the worst possible situation you can find yourself in that situation. So yeah, it looks like Velocity Black, from their teammates' aggressiveness, are going to be able to push out through this upper area, but we do see on the side of Hooligans for Hire, they do drop Rikachu once again and also have this banner popped. They're probably going to be able to hold this second point, if not get a couple kills. Actually, Dippy, though, just as I say that, making a really aggressive play onto the Pocket Soldier of Fabulous, but Drake goes down in the front lines to Link, maybe a bit too far forward there, and probably now the team with heals is going to be able to push into last.
Yes, they are, and they're running that buff banner. That's something that we didn't bring up in our pregame discussion. I wasn't really anticipating it. But we have seen that come out from Fabulous, and that really does play an important role in kind of like defensive retreating fights. Right now, that's unfortunately the situation they're in again. Phantom, 13 health, still running, is going to be able to meet up with Fabulous and at least maintain his life. Drake went down not too long ago to Shiloh, but, and that does leave the Hoop in a pretty good place for like a repush here.
Yeah, hopefully they're going to be able to get this Uber charge through the choke point now. ODB is a little aggressive on point. He might get cut out. He actually does, and they do get 2 frags without popping. So Phantom, with this whole Uber advantage, is probably going to have a really good position to push off of, considering they're going to be down 3 in this last push. 3 players. It's a lot.
That's 10 seconds for the Hooligans to get into position. They might want to capture second, though. That's kind of a crucial factor, so forget what we were saying. They're still going to push in, though, but the advantage has sort of changed a little bit. They're still going to work it pretty hard, though. Good, solid Uber charge. Gotten a lot of frags. It's just up 4 velocity. Drake going to get demolished on the point, and there you go.
Eckstein, I don't know. It seems like the curse has been cast, and even though Velocity have had 2 really strong mid showings so far, it doesn't look like they're able to convert rounds at the same level as Hooligans has been so far. So maybe we'll see an adjustment right here, but going into this mid, I'm not sure what they're thinking.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had a really close match that was back and forth, so there's still plenty of opportunity for see the rounds can come quick on Goalie Wash, but they do have to have a strong mid here. Chimp takes big damage pretty early, but is a little bit healthier than the Hooligans side. Now Hooligans pretty banged up. Everybody's low numbers. They are dropping. Shiloh goes down. Fabulous bombing in. So is Reflecto, but they both just go down. Abyssal trying to get in there. That was a pretty convincing mid fight.
Yep, and some really great showing here from Velocity on 2 mids in a row, I do believe this is. So yeah, very dominant. Able to take down most, if not all, of the Hooligans players without losing more than 2 of their own twice in a row now. So that's actually... Usually mid-fights between teams that are equal in skill are usually equal in the numbers that are lost, if not, you know, 1 player alive to cap, something like that. But yeah, like I said, Velocity, strong showing on these mids, but we've seen 3 times in a row now they failed this last push. Let's see if they can do it.
Yeah, I think Drake's positioning is really important. They need to make sure to bring somebody else with them. He's going to Uber Rikachu in. He needs to keep that other player up at the same time. And 3R, they do seem like they're properly switching the flash around. They're not really getting a lot of penetration. They're not really getting much done. Dippity's going to down to the sentry gun. They lost Chip as well. And, well, sometimes you cannot prevent fate.
This is really a disastrous position here. If you're Velocity and you've had such strong showings in like team fights outside of last, you have to be frustrated at this point because like not only did they bring a soldier into a gun, they also didn't even peek before the push. So that's a crucial step that they're just missing at this point. So hopefully before the next time they get a chance to push last, even if they do, they'll be able to spot the gun out before they push and take their demo man in the Uber.
Tip 2 is not an easy game, and they had 2 fail pushes in the last, and they made an adjustment, and they Ubered everybody correctly in that last push, but they didn't do anything with it. And now Hooligans for Hire pushing on a door here. They took a lot of damage, aggressive bomb in, but at the same time, mainly keeping people alive. Fabulous wasn't quite able to get back to the health pack. Now, Phantom putting out some arrows, also leaving the health pack for Shy. They're feeling re-energized. They have an uber charge that they're going to use right now. Link charging for, definitely to pick off some kills here. Gets Chimp, the demo man. So Velocity, a little disadvantage here, but they do sort of want to push because the Hooligans are out a demo man for hire. And that is a pretty important defensive class. They're trying to finish off this capture. The soldier jumping in though. That is Rikachu. Oh, stopping that capture is important. Abyssal gets a kill on the side, gets a second kill on the side. Can't get the third, but the other kill has been going pretty well for the Hooligans as well.
Yeah, a really important 2K there from Abyssal, actually denying the Uber push in, because we did see the team of Velocity Black try and maybe engage in a team fight there with their Uber advantage, but Abyssal just shuts that down single-handedly, getting 2 nice shots onto the soldier and scout. So we're gonna see now Velocity getting forced up in here in River, and their Uber is once again not gonna be able to catch the medic.
And I mean, it was sort of forced, but it was also like a very intentional push out. The 3 of them there on River, they wanted to use this advantage. They wanted to get big frags, and instead they got pressured in an awkward situation. It's still all right for them, but it's about to collapse as we have a pincer movement coming on. 2 players from Big Door who are going to go down. We do have the Uber charge coming in from the other side. They're hunting down that scout who's coming back in from the side from the shutter. As the players have split up, but they are going to be okay. Reflector goes forward, going to create space while the other players finish off the capture. And Drake died in that engagement, so again, that was a very successful story for the Hooligans for hire.
Yeah, and now we've seen, dare I say, a 3rd time where Velocity has been able to potentially get around beyond the last point, and 3 times now, even more than that, because of multiple attempts, they've not been able to convert. And Hooligans for hire, I was telling in the beginning of the game, they are higher in division ranking for ESEA, our main North American league, but like I said, usually in scrims and things like that, in practice, even yesterday, they're usually quite close, but it looks like they're kind of getting outclassed right now as the Uber does get popped off through the river, and we do see time on point very, very early in that demo man potentially going down, but we see 3 kills responded from immediately on the side of Velocity, and it looks like the frags are getting traded actually, so they might want to stay in, as both medics do it. Actually, Drake does go down in that team fight, so Hooligans for hire are going to have a full ad for the last push.
Yeah, that was pretty disastrous again for Velocity. At some point there, Shiloh was face to face with Drake on the defense's right-hand side, and had the time to deal with them. Nobody was there to help the medic. We have talked about off-classing a bit, and we do have the spy out here, Dylan, standing on the stairs. Oh, Fabulous walks right by him. Well, another player. Oh no, Flecto sees the reflection. Dylan, and it's an easy kill there. Unfortunate for Dylan there. Just kind of stand still, dodge 1 soldier.
And the attempt to drop the medic fails onto the side of Velocity, so it looks like we're going to have 2 picks already coming in from the Super, as we do see a lot of time on point. Hooligans just going to cap it. Just with 1 player down, they get so much pressure on point, and nobody from Velocity wanted to respond quick enough. So yeah, we have a team up 3-0 in this first half.
Hooligans for hires, their pushes into last are just so much more explosive. The first attempt at that push that failed, they bombed both soldiers, and then that second one as well, they just got everybody way forward into the point, and then just capped it, no problem.
Oh,
Fabulous, jumping across to the point here. They do have Maelstrom coming up from behind, gets the, that's a nice pick off. Drake going down though, to Reflecto. And Dylan though, getting some nice cleanup here. He killed Fabulous, he's got a 3K actually. And he wants some more. Oh, Dylan, huge mid-fight.
The control point is being captured.
You got Reflecto, Fabulous, Abyssal, and Shiloh.
Yeah, and we're going to see another mid capped by Velocity, and both medics end up going down, so even Uber's here. Most likely going to see a team fight here on the second point, as Maelstrom does get into the roamer spot to try and hide potentially for a play when the other members of Velocity try and come in, as we do see him jumping off the wall now, directly onto the medic, getting 1 rocket, 2 rocket, not going to be able to clean it up, but they do actually come there, bring their scouts into choke and get that 1 frag, so it looks like it's going to be a 3v3 just with heals onto the side of Velocity. Yep, they're going to be able to maybe win this fight. It's going to be close. No! Shiloh piping Dippity.
Yeah, Drake go down here as well to the pistol, the Biscull. And Chimp now just trying to fight from Spire. So, or from Choke. Excuse me. I was gonna say as well. You know, I'm sure we have some math people in the house. So if Velocity wins mid and kills the medic, loses the round. If they win mid and don't kill the medic,
I don't know.
At least they flipped middle back, and we'll see if the trend continues. But already Velocity Esports at a disadvantage here, Uber-wise and position-wise, since they've already lost middle. Phantom is just going to wait until they have that Uber charge, and then they're going to push in.
Oh, yeah, and they do get that one pick, so that might put a bit of a halt onto Hooligans for Hire's push, but it looks like they're going to try and go anyways. Ebsicle coming in through the choke point. He's probably going to be leading this Phantom on about 95%, and we do see the Velocity players pretty much grouping up towards this river area. The only person really close enough to try and force his Maelstrom as he does finally get it, but Velocity going to be able to escape with their medic's life.
Yeah, Phantom had to pop off Knight spam rockets coming across the angle. Now Shiloh wasn't able to get arrowed in time. Phantom getting pushed into by Rikachu. Get the easy kill there, and they don't need to recapture here, so they're gonna start to get aggressive here, trying to clear out Choke. Fabulous is there, trying to put up some defense. Strom does go down.
Yeah, and we're going to be seeing a bit of a situation here where I think it's probably going to leapfrog from second. And just to make note of it, we do have the 30-minute time limit in place, so these 3 rounds are, you know, we can't win with that only 3. The score limit is to 5, but as this time does dwindle down, we're going to seeing Velocity probably switch their playstyle to a more aggressive, probably a few more risks being taken, because it is only 5 more minutes now, or 6 more minutes now until the game is over, and if they don't at least tie, and we do go into a golden cap situation, we're going to be seeing Hooligans for Hire taking our first match of the day.
Yeah, Velocity does certainly have to get the move on, because they're going to have to get 3 rounds total. So, it's possible, as long as they keep their foot on the gas. They're getting some big frags here. This is definitely not what the Hooligans for Hire want to see happen to them. It's going to be tougher for them to hold last here. They do have an Uber charge, but the pressure already coming in as well as the Uber charge. Rikachu is there, going to be Uber flashed again. He's going to try to chase down the Devilman, but Shiloh gets the kill on Dippity. Rikachu and Maelstrom, they get the kill. Pickle, can he turn around, get the kill on, well, it does get Maelstrom, but Rikachu there with 4. Link, actually, sorry, getting the one getting the there. It's a failure for Velocity again. It's the push into the last.
I don't know, dude. Apparently they didn't practice this in scrims quite enough, as Drake does have that extremely late death. I'm not sure why he decided to try and run away if he was going to end up kill binding in the end, so we're going to see him on a 12-second respawn timer. That means Velocity isn't going to be having any heals to try and defend this mid fight, as Drake still not quite spawned yet, so they're going to try and push this directly through with their buffs and their health advantage, and it looks like Velocity is content just to give it to him. They don't want to fight at all.
Yeah, that's a tough one, and I'd say that it's about a minute the fastest for Gold. I mean, that's kind of a realistic fast, at least an estimate. And now they have to roll back middle and roll all the way back to last, and then get 2 more rounds. So certainly, you know, Hooligans for Hire, they were maybe just...
Oh! Drake getting dropped in River. I'm not sure if we caught that, but well, yeah, a huge play now. This is the chance that Velocity needs. Oh, but yeah, Drake got killed in River. I don't believe he actually had the Uber, but yeah, Hooligans for Hire not quite capitalizing on the small chance they did have to fight from River, and now it's looking real good.
Yeah, it's playing super aggressive, getting out there. They do lose Fabulous to Chimp there. Shiloh trying to get some aggressive traps in lobby, but they're going to back up a little bit more. Didn't really get much cap time going, so they might actually end up second here. I mean, sorry, they never controlled it, but they should have. Phantom goes down to a big Pikachu, and maybe there's still some gas in the tank.
Potentially, as they do try and push into this midpoint. They're down 3 rounds, but they are getting kills already, and Fabulous does go down as well, so this is definitely going to be at least a second point for the side of Velocity. They're actually getting pinched here. Oh, barely getting out with his life is Phantom, but he's going to be able to survive here, maybe get his Uber charge for last at the very least, as we do see Velocity finally converging onto the second point and taking a lot of aggressive space.
Well, it's certainly going to come down to this last push, though. So they've been having problems with it today. Will they try Shutter? Will they try a out? Or will they just go River once again? Looks like Dippity's kind of calling for it. No, okay. They're going to go... No, yep.
Oh.
Scout and Demo coming through Shutter. A little bit slow on the pop, but they don't need it. There was no stickies there. One does get a kill on Shiloh. They're just going to stand at the point and get their first capture. 2:27 on the clock. Can we get one more round, though, for Velocity?
Eckstein, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I just checked my watch and it is crunch time here for Velocity, because not only do they need to roll this first round, they need to do it twice in a row against a team that has pretty much been outplaying them in most situations. So if you're going to do it, here's where you need to step up if you want to continue in this tournament, as Velocity does get aggressive quite quickly, but their demo getting taken down almost instantly. ODB not able to survive for more than 5 seconds, but return frags coming in from the soldiers of Velocity. Not quite able to establish too much of a position quite yet, but Hooligans returning onto the medic.
Oh, Fact's coming in with some great kills here, and trading with Rikachu, and really that was just a wonderful mid rollout from the Hooligans. They decided to push their right side right into the demo man. They got the frag on the demo right away. Maelstrom was heading towards drop down. He didn't even get up drop down, and then he turned around. So he was just out of the fight for 2 minutes. Able to get some big frags. Well, they are certainly in control of this game.
Yeah, most definitely. And it looks like GGs should be called relatively soon, because I don't believe it is mathematically possible for Velocity to come back at this point. I know they're still going to try and take this team fight in River, but right now the Uber does get popped, and as the time does go down, every second is the nail in the coffin. More nails and more coffins for Velocity.
Yeah, the Velocity has ground to a halt, but at least they were able to get 1 point on the board. Ebsicle taken out, was trying to get a cheeky little capture there. They still might get one more round here. Certainly, a Link just runs. Boy, doesn't care about anybody. Now Reflective for big frags. I think they're just kind of laughing about it at this point. Happy, looking forward to next round. Phantom feeds in. Fabulous gonna try to jump in. Does get on the point and gets the capture.
Oh my goodness. And the John's coming in from the chat. ODB saying that he did detonate, but that's not what the game says.
Yeah, it was the medic bait there, where Phantom ran out and was just fed himself in order to get the blue team off the point. Apparently, ODB Chimp says he deaded. Fabulous said he saw it. Maybe you guys saw it as well, but it definitely didn't get the kill there. And that finishes things off for us in this match, with the Hooligans for Hire persevering over Velocity Black by a score of 4-1. They're going to be moving on in our best of 1 elimination playoff bracket. And we're certainly going to have some more games for you guys. Tambo and I are sticking around for another one. We'll have to figure out who that is. Maybe I can look up some details while Tambo, you can share some other final thoughts for us on this match.
Yep, so I'm going to be taking a look at the statistics, and we do see Fabulous coming in with the top DPM in the server, doing a very good job as the pocket roll. And also Shiloh, I do believe this is his first season in Invite, along with most of the Hooligans players, but showing up really big against this Velocity team, able to go 24 for 14. Not a bad, nothing you can shake a stick at all for a demo man. Just like I said, though, Hooligans for Hire able to take most of the rounds, despite also losing the mid, which is something we don't really see that often, because we did see Velocity not only win the mids, but also usually take them in convincing fashion and keep their Uber charge. But a great showing here for Hooligans for Hire. Looks like they're going to be facing off against Furyo next, so they better bring their A game for that one.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a tough one for them. But at the same time, you never know what might happen in a best of 1 format. They definitely could be able to pull it off. And I think we probably going to step away for a quick little break here, ladies and gentlemen. But thanks so much for joining us. There is plenty of TF2 ahead for the rest of this day. We got a whole block left for us in this playoff bracket. Gonna have another fantastic match coming up for you guys next. Tambo and I sticking around, and then we'll be handing it off to some other wonderful community casters. This is a Essentials.TF monthly North American Team Fortress 2 tournament sponsored by Twitch. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere.